what's up? It's your girl Brandy, and I am back with another story time. Now, this story, I told you all these stories I'm gonna be telling you, it's gonna be from like way back in the day. But this person in this story, I am gonna name him somebody, far from his name, but I'm gonna name him John. No, that's not his name, but that's what I'm gonna name him. So, I had actually met him when I was probably about 17. Man, I think I was about 17. This was when I met him like when I had first got with my daughter father. And he tried to talk to me, but I was in a relationship, but what I know right now, how that dude did me, I probably should have talked to somebody during that time too, did not with everybody. But anyway, I had met him and he tried to talk to me then, but I was in a relationship, so I'm still the same way. Don't even talk to him. So fast forward, this was about 2005. Yeah, about 2005 when I met him. I was about 23. I think I was about 23. Yep, about 23 at that time, I believe. Um, was I 23? Well, I gotta think back. I was about 22. Oh, 22. Yeah, I was about 22. So, I was about 22 at that time. So, I had met him. I was on the bus, coming from work. Now, I used to do home health days, so I would have my clients, and I would have to go in between, house to house. So, I met him during that transition when I was going from one client going to the other. And I seen him again, and he seen me, and he asked me for my number. I gave it to him this time. So me and him started conversing and stuff like that. So we would talk on the phone. And this is when text like had kind of first really started, when people first started texting. So we would talk on the phone and would text a little bit or whatever. So I let him know that I was still technically married legally. Then he let me know, like, yeah, he's technically legally married, but they were actually going through a divorce. Like, they signed papers and everything. They was waiting for it to get finalized. Like, he really was. But he told me that's what that was. So she had somebody that she was with that was in jail, who she was visiting, had a tattoo of his name and everything. All of this on her, but she was still worried about him. But anyway, he told me about that. So at this time, he had like just got out of jail. So he was on parole. So his parole stipulations was that he could not stay at his mother's house. Yeah, so the stipulations of his parole was he cannot be paroled to his mother house because his brother was on parole too. So up here, New York State, there can't be two people that's on parole that's paroled to the same address. They ain't even supposed to have no contact regardless if they family or not. So he wasn't even supposed to be at his mama house. But anyways, so he had to stay in the shelter, and that was per his parole officer. They said he could not. He didn't have an address, so that's where he was staying, in the shelter, right? So fast forward, he would come and visit me at my house, or I would go over his mother's house and chill with him over there. His mother was cool. She would cook for us and everything like that. So this one day he asked me to come over there after he had got off of work, and they wanted to play cards. So his mother said we can come. She was like, you can invite, some people if you want to. So I invited my sister and my cousin. So we went over there, and while we over there playing cards and stuff, his brother, I told you my sister used to talk to his brother. His brother was trying to talk to my sister, but my sister wasn't even thinking about him. She was in a relationship or whatever, but she was just talking to him or whatever. And um I didn't go in the brother room, but you can go, like, you can go in the room or whatever. But she went in the room, door was open, nobody was doing nothing. She went in the room, but she was looking at the pictures in there, and she noticed that it was pictures of John with his estranged wife. You know what I mean? It was pictures of them, and she was like, "Oh shit!" She was like, she worked at this nursing home. She was a nurse at this nursing home that she worked at. So she was like, "That girl worked at the nursing home or whatever." So she didn't know. So the girl didn't know. who I was at this time, anyways. And she didn't know who my sister was, but she was like, yeah, she worked at that nursing home. So we over there chilling and stuff. And then when my cousin come over there, um, his brother girlfriend she come over, and she's actually related to my cousin. And so we all just chilling. We just having a good time that day. And then we that night my sister had her car, so we actually drove him down to the shelter for him to go back in, because he had to be back in by 10 o'clock. So we took him back down there, whatever. So some time had went by or whatever, and his mother was having a little cookout, and his kids was over there. He told me to come, and his kids was over there, and his daughter, she was so cute, and she just kept saying, you so pretty or whatever. And she was like, oh, I like your hair and stuff. So I was in there, I was helping, like, I think I was cutting up some onions and potatoes or whatever. I was doing something, I was helping. And the strange wife, I just call her the baby mama, she seen me. So the baby mama seen me, the strange wife, baby mama, whatever you want to call her. So she seen me, and she immediately got an attitude. Like, told his daughter, like, because his daughter, like, around, I think that time when she came, the daughter was in there, and she was like playing with my hair. So when she came in, she was playing with my hair. Now my hair I always had me some hair. I think I had a perm back then, but I don't get perm now. But I always had me some hair. The daughter was playing in my hair. And let's talk about this. The baby mama was dark skinned. She had braces before, but didn't go to the orthodontics to remove them. So she still had the little metal pieces that was stuck to her teeth, but the braces parts was gone. But she was supposed to be a Muslim too, so she always wore a Muslim cap back then. So she seen me. She had an attitude, telling the daughter, "Come in here, like come in here." Then asked him to go outside and talk to her. So they arguing outside or whatever. And his kids were supposed to stay over there. And she got mad and took the kids, so they couldn't stay. Remind you, she was supposed to be at work. She's supposed to be at work. She worked 3 to 11. She was supposed to be at work, but she took a break, whatever, to come over there. But she took her kids, so they couldn't be over there. Took her kids to her mama. So, because her mama lived with her, whatever. So she had an attitude. My sister was at work at this time. I told you they work at the same place. My sister called me and was like, yeah, she in here. And they talking like, oh, he had that bitch over there. My daughter was playing in her hair and all this other stuff. So the girl, like, she kept, like, was talking. So my sister was like, I ain't gonna let her know that, that I'm your sister. She was like, I'm just gonna see everything that she say and stuff. So she was talking, and she was talking about what she was gonna do. Then my sister was like, well, that's my sister you talking about. You know what I mean? So she let her know, like, oh yeah, that's my sister you talking about. Like, what do you want to do, like, basically. So after that, she had a big problem with me. When I say she had a big problem with me, she had a big problem with me. Remind you, I never did nothing to her. They were not together. Like I said, even if he came home and slept with her, did whatever, they already signed the divorce papers. She was supposed to get married to the other person that she was with. She had his name tattooed on him. She was visiting him. She wasn't even visiting this man when he was in jail, none of that. But when he came home, since they were still legally married, she thought that she had the rights to do whatever. So let's fast forward this time, because he was doing some stuff he was not supposed to be doing. So he would get out the shelter in the morning. She will be the one to come pick him up from the shelter. I'll be at work. She'd be the one that be down there at 6 o'clock in the morning to pick him up from the shelter and all this other stuff, and be out there with him. He'd be at her house with whatever. So that wasn't my business. That's what they was doing before me. Yeah, we were not in a relationship. He was actually talking to somebody else and everything too, but we was not in a relationship. But she just had this problem with me. But it's like, what you got a problem with me for if you already had a whole ninja? You had a whole ninja. Like, literally, you had a whole ninja. But anyways, let's talk about this. So, she was doing like little funny stuff or whatever, talking about me at work and everything. But once she found out who my sister was, she wouldn't talk about me to my sister. She would be whispering to everybody else, and then start acting funny towards my sister, and start trying to do shit like to try to get my sister to lose her job, all kinds of shit. Now, then let's fast forward. Like I said, he was doing stuff he wasn't supposed to be doing, like violating curfew and all this other stuff. So he actually didn't, like, go to the shelter one night or whatever. So he violated. So he got violated, went to jail. Now he calling from jail and everything, but he tell me, matter of fact, no, let's rewind that. So before he get violated, the apartment that was upstairs from his mother became available. So the apartment that I was staying in, the landlord, like this, the apartment manager, she was a crackhead. She was stealing the money. She wasn't turning in the money and all that other shit. So I was trying to move anyways. So they had some stuff going on over there, so I was trying to move. So I had got this apartment upstairs from the mother. The mother told her that I got the apartment too. Anyways, so she was starting stuff with me, like, little stuff. And so he violated, went to jail, whatever. So he called, and his paycheck from the job that he worked at, he wanted me to go get it. He called them to have it signed out to me. And he said, when you cash the check, he said, you get some money and give my mother some money. That's what he said. He said, you get half, give my mother half. He was like, I don't even want nothing. So that's what I did. But when I went there, I didn't know that this bitch called down there and told them to mail the check to her. So, but when he called, they scratched her name off of the envelope that the check was in and put my name in there because she was trying to have them mail it to her. But he called them and told them no, sign it out to Brandy. So I go and get the check. She mad. She was heated. She was heated that she couldn't get that check, that they couldn't send it to her. But he told me, and he told his mother. His mother was on the phone, and he said no. He was like, and y'all cash it, and y'all split it. That's just that on that, and that's exactly what we did. We did what he told us to do. So we did that. Yeah. So the landlord, we signed it. He told us to sign it. So the landlord put the check in her account and cashed it for us. So So we did, and guess what? I used a little bit of that pocket change for my security deposit because I told you I was getting an apartment upstairs. So she was so mad. She was so mad. It had nothing to do with me. That was all on him. Y'all weren't together technically, like anyways. But then, okay, so here comes his property in jail. He signed his property out to me. I didn't ask for like this is the thing. I didn't ask for him to do that. He asked me to go get his property. It was his phone, his wallet. It was just, listen, it was little shit. It wasn't even nothing. So he signed his property out. But girl, this girl already knew like his code to his phone and stuff. Now all of this stuff happened like within a matter of days, like 2 days. Like he went to jail. He called down there for the paycheck and all of that stuff because we used a three-way for him to call and tell him that, and he signed his property out all within a matter of days. Like he asked me to come down there for like, because when you get arrested, you go to jail. When you get booked, you get a 15-minute visit, and he asked me to have the visit to come see him. This is what he wanted. Like, that's what he wanted. So he signed his property out, but his phone, she knew the code to the phone because it was something simple. Like when he first got the phone, she's the one who took him to get the phone. It was like 4 sevens. 7777 for the code. She changed the answer machine thing, so when somebody called and she was like, "Oh, this is, oh, should I name her? Because I ain't named her yet. This is baby, this is such and such. I am John's wife. Don't call this phone no more." It was something like this. Literally, what she said, like, "Don't call this phone no more. I am number one," like some stuff like that. This is what she was saying. It was so funny. And then I politely changed it because he told me what the code was. I politely changed it. So then she started calling the phone, harassing me like, "What are you doing with the phone?" First of all, he signed it out to me. That's why I got the phone. He told me to get the phone. Okay. So she started calling, playing on the phone, calling, playing on the phone, calling, playing on the phone. Now, she didn't know my number. She didn't know my number. She was calling his number. So she just kept calling, playing on the phone, talking about she was going to beat my ass. She was going to stomp a mud hole in me. This is all the stuff she was saying. Now, remind you, I never had a problem with this woman. I didn't start with her. I didn't do none of that. But she said she was going to stomp a mud hole in me. Like, bitch, no, you're not. So at this time she still was like really like harassing my sister at work and everything. My sister was pregnant at this time too, so she was harassing her at work and stuff. And now the apartment, I actually did move all of my stuff into the apartment, but I didn't even stay there. I didn't sleep one night at this apartment. I was at my mother's house. I didn't sleep not one night at this apartment. It's like I had an apartment for no reason. So I was at my mother's house. So um his mother still will be calling me to come over there and sit with her and stuff. And this one night I actually did spend a night over there with her, and that's when I realized the mother was crazy. She was a little touched. She was crazy. But then I realized that she was kind of like, she said that she didn't like her, but she was kind of like playing both sides. But she was telling me stuff that she was saying and everything. And I'm like, I'm not about to come chill over here no more. So I stopped going to chill over there and stuff. And even I told you my stuff was upstairs, but she told the girl that I moved upstairs and everything. So the girl called herself coming over there, but remind you, I told you I'm staying at my mother's house. So the girl called herself coming over there, banging on my door, trying to fight me and stuff, but I don't even stay there. So she was trying to figure out what my address was. So let's fast forward. There was this play. It was a play. I think it was a Tyler Perry play, like Why Did I Get Married or something like that, or not Why Did I Get Married, but one of his first plays or whatever came to Syracuse. I didn't go, but she went to that play, but I was at the bar that I always go to with my sister bartended at. I was there. So she actually came there after the play, but like I told you, remember I said that she was a Muslim, so she had on the Muslim hijab coming into the bar, which any person that's a practicing Muslim, like practicing, like she claims she was a practicing Muslim, a woman that wears a hijab, they do not go in no bars. They don't do none of that. They don't party. Don't do none of that. She was in the bar. She was dancing. She was doing all this stuff. She was trying to be funny and stuff in the bar, right? And she just kept trying to be funny with me and stuff like that. So my sister-in-law, she used to go to this. She was the one who got me to go to this bar and everything. So my sister-in-law was with me. And so we left. We was leaving before she had left. We was leaving. I think we was going somewhere else. So we was leaving. So my sister-in-law got her keys. I was like, that bitch car right there. Sister-in-law got the keys and just went across it. So I'm like, no, I was like, give me the keys, because if anybody gonna say that somebody scratched the car up, it better be me scratching the car up. You ain't got nothing to do with it, even though I didn't plan on doing it, but she started it, so I finished it. Yeah, she started it, but I finished it. But that was more because I told you she was talking shit about me. Like I did nothing to her. Like it's a difference if I knew that he was with her, they were really together, and I started dealing with him. That's something I never do. I never just go after a dude and deal with them knowing that they got a female. I don't pursue men like that. I always got a problem with a female because of a man, because a man is lying. But this instance, he really wasn't lying because they were not together. They weren't. So, anyways, she was talking about me, like saying, "Oh, you a broke home health aide bitch," and all this stuff. This is the shit she was saying about me. So my sister-in-law already knew all the shit she was saying about me. So it is what it is. And at that point, she said she wanted to stomp a mud hole in me, bitch. I'm gonna give you a reason to. Now you got a reason to. But the whole thing is you couldn't prove it. You couldn't prove it. Statutes of limitations is gone. Couldn't prove it then, and you can't do shit about it now. It's over 20 years ago. Fuck you. Anyway, so that happened. She was on the phone. She ran the mother phone up, talking about, oh, I'm gonna beat this bitch ass. I was gonna trade that car in. Well, you ain't trading shit in now, bitch. Show ain't. Fuck out of here. You should have left me the fuck alone. She didn't want to leave me the fuck alone. She should have left me the fuck alone. Okay? So she was still talking. She kept calling the phone. Cause she kept calling the phone. I stopped answering. I just let the bitch leave shit on the answer machine. I let her leave because I wasn't answering. The bitch, what the fuck am I answering? What you want, bitch? I don't want to talk to you. Fuck out of here. Write him a letter. Fuck out of here. So she went to work, and then now her fucking cousin worked at the front desk. She worked at the front desk, but she had like access to files in there. Her fucking cousin went through the shit and went and found my sister file with the address and my sister phone number and all that shit on there. Now my sister didn't live at my mother's house, but she always used my sister, used my mother address just like I did. I didn't live at my mother's house, but the address that was on my ID up until about 6, 7 years ago was my mother's address. I don't know why the fuck we did that shit, even though we had our own. We still used our mother address. So she got my mother address, and now I was at my mother house. I told you that's where I was at all the time. So my cousin, the same cousin that went over there to when we played cards and stuff, my cousin had came and spent the night over there with us too, with me too. My sister, she was at home at this time. So I'm in the shower. His phone kept ringing, kept ringing. So I answer the phone, and this bitch says the address says such and such such. Come outside, bitch. I'm like, what? I'm in the fucking shower. So I called my sister. I'm not my sister. I called my cousin. I started yelling her name, yelling her name. I'm like, come here. I said, do you see a blue Lumina outside? Because that's what the girl had, a Chevy Lumina. I said, you see? Yeah. So I told my cousin. I said, go look out the window and see if you see a blue Chevy Lumina out there. So she go to the window and she said, yeah. She come back. She was like, yeah, it's a blue Chevy Lumina out there. She was like, I'm about to go outside. My cousin went outside and went to the window like, who you here for? Who you here for? And they like, oh, we here for Brandy. Now she had her mother in the car. She had the same cousin who gave her the address, and it was somebody else she had in the car. It was like a gay person or something. She had a couple people in the car with her. So my cousin was like, well, Brandy in the shower. She'll be right out after she get out the shower. Fuck that. So my cousin come back in the house like, yeah, she got this many people with her in the car or whatever. So I'm hurrying up because I literally was in the shower. I was washing my behind. So I hurry up to get out the shower, and I'm calling my sister, my sister calling my cousins and everything. My cousin, my one cousin was like, I'm about to be there on two wheels. When I say I like literally I hurried up and got dressed. It was freezing outside. It's cold. It's literally cold. It wasn't no snow outside at this exact time, but it was snowing. You know, it was snow around this time, but this time it was no snow outside. But it was freezing outside, and I just got out the shower. So when I get out the shower, I call my father too. My mother was there. My baby, this baby was a baby. My baby, my mama holding my baby and stuff. We go out there and their car gone. They gone. So we called the fucking upper back. And I'm like, well, bitch, where the fuck you at? I'm outside. Talking about, oh, I had to go get my daughter from school. We'll be back. Okay. So guess what? She went to go get her daughter from school. By that time, everybody, my cousins, my sister, everybody, my father, everybody came at this time. Since you got people with you, I got people with me too. Cause guess what? Ain't nobody gonna jump me. So it took them a mad long to come back and everything too. But so we waiting because you don't came to the house. You don't violated for one. You don't came to my mother house. Like you don't violated. Like I ain't violate you. I knew what your address and everything was because I knew from the check. And I still didn't bother you. I still didn't come to your house. I didn't fuck with you. But anyways, so after that, they finally pull up and we was ready. It's like she was scared to get out the car at first too. Like she was scared or whatever. But when she got out the car and shit, her mother was with her, and my sister was like, take off them fucking rings because you ain't putting no scratches on my sister at all. Take off your fucking rings because she had a handful of rings. But she was like, you ain't putting no scratches on my sister. My sister was pregnant and everything. She was like, but you better take them rings off. Yes. I think I'm gonna make a part 2 to this. I'll be back with the rest.